I spent an amazing 5 months in Georgia, and honestly, at first I was very skeptical about choosing this country for long-term living. Originally, I wanted to move to Europe, but because citizens of Kazakhstan don't have visa-free access to most European countries, my options were limited. Turkey was one option, but I had already been there, and the visa-free stay is only 3 months. I wanted something new. And then I noticed Georgia on the list of visa-free countries, a place where citizens of Kazakhstan can stay for up to 1 full year without a visa. I was flying in winter, so my main criteria were a warm climate and affordable rental housing. Georgia turned out to be a perfect match. My initial plan was to spend 3 days exploring the capital, Tbilisi, and then move to Batumi for 6 months. Another deciding factor was the cost of living. Life here is quite affordable, food prices are low, and housing is cheaper compared to many other countries. I flew from Almaty, Kazakhstan, directly to Tbilisi. The ticket cost me $260. I had booked a hotel in advance called View Tbilisi Hotel. Just look at this incredible view from my window.
Ох, ебать.
From the moment you arrive, you realize this is not a typical post-Soviet country. Tbilisi actually feels like a modern European city. From the very first seconds, I was surprised. Smooth roads, clean and modern cars, and almost no old or dirty vehicles on the streets. You know, Georgia is a country you need to experience through details. You won't find something like the Burj Khalifa here, but you'll notice small, pleasant things everywhere. And at some point, you realize that this country is separated from us only by the Caspian Sea, yet somehow you knew almost nothing about it. For example, I really liked how polite and well-mannered Georgian people are. It's very pleasant when you're standing in a queue and everyone lines up properly, almost like in Japan. No one tries to cut in. I also remember the COVID-19 restrictions. In trains and shopping malls, everyone wore masks. No one complained about not being able to breathe or talked about conspiracy theories.
Coronavirus, no, no, no. Coronavirus, go away. Coronavirus, don't come close to me, go away. Coronavirus, no, no, no.
During my 3 days in Tbilisi, I mostly walked along Rustaveli Avenue. Many restaurants and shopping centers are located there, including Galleria Mall. On this street, you can see Georgian dancers, street musicians, tourists, and locals simply enjoying the city. I definitely recommend visiting Rustaveli Avenue and feeling its atmosphere. I'm very grateful to the Georgian people and to Georgia itself for bringing back that magical New Year's feeling, that childlike excitement I hadn't felt since I was very young. Georgia somehow took me back to those times when the whole city feels festive. People walk around, sing, dance, smile. No gloomy faces, no grey sadness.
Везде салюта! Куда смотри? Ёб твою, как же красиво, чуваки! Вау! Oh my god, it's so great to be in such a New Year's atmosphere. I haven't had this in a long time.
It's to stay, it's to stay, stay by me.
So, Georgian taxi driver recommended a restaurant to me, Pasanauri, and they say they cook really well there. We'll see about that. I've been in Georgia for 3 days now, and I haven't even tried their Khachapuri yet, that popular dish. And I certainly haven't tried kinkali either.
Я не знаю, правильно ли я его ем вообще. По-моему, это вот так делается. Насколько я знаю. Но это не точно. Ребят, хачапури по-аджарски просто топ. Мое почтение. Я такую вкусную еду давно не ел. Очень вкусно. Пробую хинкали. Это просто тесто, внутри сыр.
However, I didn't plan to stay in Tbilisi for long, so I decided to go to Batumi. I traveled there by train, buying the ticket online for just $10. The trains were modern German Stadler trains. The journey from Tbilisi to Batumi takes only 5 hours. I didn't bring food with me, but if you get hungry, there are vending machines inside the train where you can buy snacks, chocolate, or drinks. But what surprised me the most was that during the entire journey, there was working internet and stable Wi-Fi inside the train. Imagine traveling to another city while YouTube works the entire time. I was also shocked that my regular 4G mobile internet worked throughout the whole trip. In Astana, the capital of Kazakhstan, internet doesn't always work well everywhere, but here, even outside cities, I had full signal and 4G.
Now let's talk about Batumi. Batumi is a port resort city in Georgia. I would recommend it to people who want to find inner peace, to pause their life for a moment and spend some time alone with themselves. To think about personal things, about life, recharge emotionally, and after a small reset, return to life with renewed energy. Here, you can quietly observe the endless views of the Black Sea and reflect on the meaning of life.
Не, сегодня, ребят, Черное море по-особенному красиво. Пипец. Просто посмотрите, какое оно сегодня синее, голубое. Прям как в фильмах. Вау.
I mentioned earlier that Tbilisi feels like a European city, but in Batumi, I sometimes felt like the city was built using the best manuals of Soviet urban planning. It's hard to say what Batumi's modern architecture will look like in a few years. Still, we have to give credit to the Georgian people. With limited resources, they managed to build a decent resort city that continues to develop. In summer, tourists come here from Russia, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine, but also from Europe. In Kazakhstan, we don't yet have resort cities even close to Batumi.
Let's get it. Let's get to this money. Let's get to these digits. Okay, diamonds bright, pretty. Look what my Hollister hold. Did you think we were kidding? Okay. Let's get it. Let's get to this money. Let's get to these digits. Okay, diamonds.
Kimine bak kimine bir bekle makamına bir bekle matamına bekle bekle ma fit kimi formuna fit klitta ma klamana jamana lek zlo bana si bana tamana lek mulu bana bana mine pavana men beta ma fore ne formuna fore fofte me fit mine formuna koden beze abana beze imana beta ma fore mine kamana keze beta ma fore mine formuna flak mine flak mine fit.
Now let's talk about the advantages of Batumi. The first advantage is housing prices. I don't know how it is now, but before the Russia-Ukraine war, prices were incredibly low. For $300, you could rent amazing apartments with a view of the Black Sea. The second advantage is local food. Even now, being back in Kazakhstan, I miss Georgian pastries. You walk into any cafe, restaurant, or even a small street food stall, and you don't know what to choose. Small pizza-like buns, hot dogs, pastries. You definitely won't stay hungry in Batumi. In short, Batumi is a port resort city in Georgia with a population of less than 200,000 people. Here you'll see modern high-rise hotels and apartments, as well as old Soviet buildings that feel very familiar to me. You'll see artistic murals on buildings, modern minibuses, or you can feel like you're in Italy on European-style streets, delicious Georgian food, and most importantly, a feeling of calm and safety when you don't need to worry about anything. It has been 3 years since I returned to Kazakhstan, but I still remember my time in Georgia with warm nostalgia. It became like a second home to me. I miss Georgian food, I miss Batumi, even the old apartment buildings without entrance doors. I miss the atmosphere of Rustaveli Avenue in Tbilisi and the local people. During my entire stay, I never once felt like a stranger in Georgia, and I think that's incredibly important. I promised myself that one day I will come back here again.